Hi guys, it's Roman here, and today we're going to be reviewing my own Golf GTI TCR. After a long time, I've already uploaded a review before, but that kind of wasn't up to my standards, and the camera angle was a bit off and everything just wasn't really the way I wanted to, so I want to redo it and do it properly. And as you can see, we're here in the beautiful mountains of Slovakia, my home country. And the weather is finally great. You know, it's warm outside. I have the Cup 2 tires on the car, so the winter's over and the season has just started. So I'm going to take a quick short walk around the car. I'm going to show you what I've done to it, tell you everything about it, about the modifications, about stuff that has gone wrong or that has not been so great. I was going to be brutally honest. I've done many thousands of kilometers of driving on mountain passes, on highways, you know, day-to-day life. So I think I'm a good person to talk about this car since I've got so much experience with it. All right, so first of all, starting off, this is a 2019 Golf GTI TCR in the color pure gray, which is a color that is exclusive to the TCR. You could have only gotten the color on the TCR, so that's quite special. This car also had a different body kit, as you can see. I've painted it in gloss black, the front parts, because the entire body kit from standard is gloss black. Just these vents or the breathers for the brakes, they're in matte plastic, so I decided to do that in gloss black to match all the rest of it. So it's pretty much standard except the badge. I've done that just to complete the look for myself. And yeah, it's got adaptive lights, work great. I love the detail in them. I love the little honeycomb. It just matches perfectly. The car is a bit dirty, but yeah, I've driven quite hard in the past 3-4 days. These are OZ Ultraleggera wheels. So they're not stock, but stock the car comes with 19-inch wheels. They're called Reifnitz, and they're quite nice, but they're finished in a matte black paint, and these are gloss black and also a bit more lightweight. Also, I just quite like the design with the center log. I've added that, obviously. And yeah, it's on Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, which is, I think, the best tire for this car. You could have gotten it from factory if you opted for like a performance package with the Pretoria wheels. But I've had 4S's. Great tire. I love the tire. It works super well in wet, in the dry. Everything is great about it. But the problem that I've had is the sidewall on the 4S is very soft. So if you push the car quite hard, and this car also has some negative camber, the sidewall just perishes after 12,000 kilometers. That's what happened to me. So the middle, the thread depth would be 5 mil, 5.5 mil of tread depth in the middle, but the sidewall will be completely toast. I'll show up a picture right now. Tire, they actually last me the time like around 14,000 kilometers I can on the front. So it's quite a good result for the Cup 2. Obviously not so great in the wet, but completely doable. Haven't had any issues with it. These are single piston calipers with 340 millimeter discs. They have an aluminum bell, and they're also special to the TCR. They come from a Golf GTI Clubsport S that had it the first time, and you could have gotten these also on the Golf R if you opted for a performance pack. But yeah, these are obviously, heat dissipation is a bit better, but I've never had any issues. The brakes are completely stock. I've never had any issues with the brakes. This car can just carry so much speed throughout the corners that you don't really need to brake all that much. I mean, unless you track the car, I think that these are perfect for road use. Negative camber on the front, which I've added, which didn't come from factory. From factory, these cars have -1 degree of negative camber, but I've added the wheel hub carriers from Golf GTI Clubsport S. It's quite a rare thing to do on these cars, but I decided to do it. It's an OEM part. It's a bit too pricey maybe for some people, but I just like the OEM plus OEM feeling modifications. That's what I always look for, and this just worked perfectly. It transformed the car, the way it drives and handles through like long sweeping corners. It can just you know, the front end is much sharper. I've also done another thing to the car, which is aluminum subframe, which wasn't standard on the TCR in the 2019 model year, but on the 2020 ones it actually came standard. So this one had a steel subframe, and I've changed it up for the aluminum one, which is also an OEM part. I've also added a Racingline Subframe brace, which completely transformed the front end for me. That was the best, around 300-400 euros I've spent. Sometimes when you go over bumps or something, slow speeds, you can hear the subframe creaking, and this completely just stopped it and made the front end super solid. Also, there is TTRS lower control arm bushes. We've got the carbon fiber mirror casings, sunroof, obviously very practical. A lot of things here now. Yeah, I've had 4 or 5 people with me on a holiday, no problem at all. Also quite nice, I've added this. It's an Oettinger carbon fiber rear spoiler. I think it just finishes the rear off very nicely, you know, because from stock there's only like this little gurney flap lip spoiler on the top of the tailgate, but this finishes it off. It's quite a nice, like an A, you know, going straight up. So I just love it. The diffuser is stock on the TCR. It looks amazing. I've always loved the look of the TCR diffuser. A lot of people tend to retrofit these to regular 7.5 performance GTIs. But yeah, it just looks great. Other than that, in the rear, we've got the Ego-X valved exhaust that is certified and approved for use in Europe. Sounds great. It's quite a unique solution for the GTI because none of the GTIs actually came with a valve from stock. And yeah, some exhaust manufacturers offer a valved exhaust for the GTI, but this actually works through a CAN bus, which is connected to the car's computer, and so the valves can be opened or closed depending on the driving mode. So if I'm in comfort mode, the valves are shut. If I'm in sport mode, the valves fully open, and so on and so forth. In individual settings, you can also play around with it. So it sounds amazing. I'll throw up a few sound clips right now from the outside, but I'm sure you've already heard it if you watch my videos. In terms of engine specs and modifications, see a Racingline R600 intake. That's basically all I've done under the bonnet. There's really not much else to talk about. This is the EA888 engine code with the IS38 turbocharger. Was unique to the Golf R and the Golf GTI TCR, but also the Edition 40 or the Clubsport S also got this engine. This one is tuned to 213 kilowatts of power, or roughly 300 horsepower, although it feels more powerful. I would say maybe 20 horsepower thanks to the modifications, free flowing exhaust. And yeah, this engine is just a gem of an engine. I love it. It works super well with the 7-speed transmission. There haven't been many things that have gone wrong with the car. The only thing which actually broke is the steering rack. The steering rack actually started knocking, and so I had to replace the entire steering rack. But other than that, the car has been bulletproof, completely reliable, and I've loved it from the first moment that I've got it. Inside, we have a very nice interior, which I've done some upgrades. Alcantara steering wheel straight from the Golf GTI Clubsport, and yes, there are some little touches like these TCR or grabs or whatever you call it, because this is not stock. Otherwise it comes with like black matte plastic, but this just lifts it up. Center console I've done usually is in plastic, you know, just nothing special, but there is a company in Germany that does these. You can buy them off the shelf, and they basically cover it in Alcantara and red stitching to match the rest of the interior. So yeah, the interior for me, it's perfect. It's very usable. The technologies in this car, I mean, it does everything, obviously, but you're not here to, you know, hear me talk about screens and other BS that really doesn't matter. We're here for the drive. So we're going to start the car up and take it for a bit of a spin on this beautiful, beautiful spring day. Hey guys, so I've already warmed the car up a little bit, and now we're just going to go for a drive, talk about some driving impressions from the car. So this car has got dynamic chassis control, so that means the dampers are adaptive depending on the driving mode. So we've got it now in sport mode because this road is very well surfaced, so we can have it in the stiffest setting possible. But other than that, there are 3 settings: comfort, normal, and sport. All right, the gearbox is in manual. I'm going to turn off the stability control, and we're going to go for a bit of a blast here on this amazing, amazing road. All right, let's just go for it. This car, compared to other hot hatches, I mean, given how usable it is every day, yet you can just, with a couple of upgrades, with some great tires and, you know, just a bit of negative camber and stiffening up, you know, it really isn't much that you have to do to the car, and it just drives like a beast. It's amazing. It stays completely flat through the corners in sport mode of the damper, and you can just lean on it. And the diff pulls you through. The VAQ diff just works beautifully. You know, you can just drive this car super hard. You can lean on the front end. It gives you so much confidence, this car. I mean, it's just almost stupid how fast this car is, really. I've been driving for a long time, obviously, and I've chased a couple of very powerful cars, some Porsches, and this car, it just, on the right tires, it's so easy to drive quickly. And just turn it in and lean on the front, and then let the diff just do its magic and pull you through. But it's not like you can't have fun in this car, in the sense that the chassis wouldn't be playful. I mean, quite the opposite. If you, obviously, like now I have the stability control all the way off, and if I want to, I can just chuck the car in, lift off, and the car can, I mean, go sideways into every single corner. Obviously, it's not going to be crazy, but yes, it can do it. And the back just helps you out every time that you turn in. What a road. Just the power, the way the engine and the transmission work together, it's just seamless. You know, you can just I've really fallen in love with this car over and over again, just because of how great it feels to drive and how much of an amazing companion it is for road trips. And just, I mean, it's super sharp, responsive. The steering is amazing. Actually, there's quite a lot of feel in the steering, which is actually quite a interesting fact, because, you know, I expected going into this car that the steering is not going to be that good, but you can tell what the car is doing, what the front end is doing, how much grip there's left in the corner. So it's super confidence inspiring, and I've never really had any issues placing the car wherever I wanted to. Obviously, there are some drawbacks to the car. For example, the transmission shifts up and down even in manual mode. If you hit the red line, it's going to upshift for you. But that's also, you know, a thing that you can solve just with a simple software update, basically, or a tune. I've actually done this, so the transmission is stock, the software is completely stock in terms of the shifting. The function of kicking down and auto upshifting has been turned off, so now you're basically in full control, and you know, so you can hit the limiter and upshift, and when you kick down, it's not going to upshift for you. I think this is a very essential mod if you like driving on mountain passes or on the track, so quite a nice thing to have done. The brakes, I don't think I've talked about them, only maybe in the beginning, but you can just you can lean on them. I've never really experienced any brake fade, and you know me from the videos that I like to push it quite hard, and I've never really had a single issue with the brakes. There's plenty of feel in the pedal. It's very progressive. You can, you know, the more you press, the more it brakes. It's very linear feeling. So amazing brakes. Talking about some things that are related to everyday use and usability. This car in its comfort setting and the transmission in drive just works almost like any other regular Golf. Yes, it is a bit stiffer. The NVH levels are a bit higher, mostly due to the Cup 2 tires, you know, due to the compound, so you get a bit of tire noise in the cabin, but nothing that would be too obtrusive. Using it daily, the fuel consumption, you can get around 7 to 8 liters if you drive conservatively. I've even seen figures of 6 if you drive it on B roads, you know, just at a steady speed, and on the highway at around 120 to 130 kilometers an hour. It consumes around 7 to 8 liters depending on your driving style, obviously, but it's a very economical car given the performance that it has on tap. So just an amazing all-around package. Nowadays you can get these cars for around 30,000 euros, and I think that there isn't really a more well-rounded, well-judged hot hatch. There are some others that might do certain things a bit better, but as an overall package, for me this is the ultimate version of the GTI. You know, it's a 7.5, the generation, which I think everybody loves for its design, for its simplicity, for its interior quality and intuitive driver interface and media interface. Just everything about this car, it just feels it's a great platform, obviously the MQB platform, and I feel like in the category of powerful purpose-built hot hatches, it is quite a unique thing, I would say. Yes, the Type R might be a bit more hardcore. The Hyundai i30N perhaps is a bit more fun and playful, but as a package I feel like this car is just perfect. You know, really there aren't any compromises with this car. It does it all. Yes, sometimes it might be a bit too clinical, but I feel like for most people this is the perfect everyday usable hot hatch that puts a smile on your face no matter what you do, and doesn't really bother you anytime that you don't want to be bothered. You know, you have a great sound system, the interface, the seats are super comfortable yet supportive. So yeah, it's a perfect recipe to have fun without having to pay incredible costs for maintenance or for fuel. So I think I would recommend this car to anybody looking to buy a hot hatch. Spend a bit more money, get the TCR, find a one in nice condition. It's a well worth the upgrade, just the engine alone and the suspension tuning compared to the GTI or the GTI Performance, and even the R. The R, for me, it's not even, I mean, unless you live somewhere where there's a lot of snow, or you know, you like to go skiing in your car, it's your only car, then yes. But if you like driving on track, on mountain passes, and just feeling like you are one with the car, then the TCR is the one to go for. And that would be it from me. I'm going to turn around and we're going to go uphill now, and I'm just going to shut up, let the car do the talking. And so thank you very much for tuning in and watching the review. If you have any questions about the car or anything, I'll be happy to answer it in the comments. And yeah, other than that, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, it means a lot. And yeah, see you next time.